Namaste.
We Charity started working in 2009 in India, and on that time I know We Charity what they are doing. So they are working near Udaipur. There is one community where they are working. They start working there, and one of my friend lives in that community in that village. So I visited there, and I saw they are working on schools. So I talked to my friend that what they are doing, why they are making new buildings. So they are saying like there's one organization from outside India, and they're working so hard. They're encouraging each and every families to send their kids in their schools, and they love it. They start loving it, loving the communities, because they are making relations with the communities. They are making a bond with the communities, and then they are working in the communities. There are so many things, value struggles in India, because if you belong from a tribal families, or if you belong from a poor families, you don't have anything, any privileged things for you. You don't have anything, you don't get any food, you don't get any life, you don't get any entertainment things in your life if you belong from a poor families. And if you are from richer families, you can buy anything in India, you can hire anything in India, you can get higher education, you can get higher entertainment, high facilities, which you can't compare in India. It's just for higher peoples. I've seen so many peoples from poor families struggling for so many things, about their life, about their land, about their food, about the laws, right? Because they don't have any education. 99% population in India, like in women's, and are illiterate. All the 90% women are illiterate, so they don't know about their rules, about their laws, which are like followed by the government, right? So they, if their husband are beating them, or like if they are like doing any wrong ways in their houses, they don't have any educations about the laws which are made by the governments for them. So there are so many things which all the peoples in India, or the poor peoples in India, is struggling for their life, and they don't know anything about how to do it. There are so many different castes are there, so, and which we can divide like in four categories. One is Brahmins, second is Kshatriyas, the warriors who can fight for their regions. Third is the Vaishyas who can travel, who are the merchants. Totally the maximum are the merchants, and Shudras are the blue collar job persons who are like mostly are the farmers or like the servants. And there is one more caste which doesn't belong to any caste system in India, is untouchables. The persons who do the dirty jobs, the ladies who do the prostitutions, and they don't belongs to the any caste system, they comes in the untouchables. If you are educated person, you can do anything whatever you want. So they got money, they got life, they got standard of living, they got status of life, and till now also they are getting higher education and higher status of living in India.
There are people, a lot of people who wanted to do something, but then they're not able to do it just because their family might get, their emotions might get hurt because of that. I wanted to do something in my life that I could not do just because I had to do other things. I had to do things that my parents wanted me to do, my family wanted me to do. These cultures, their mentality, they forces them to not do some things that they want to do actually.
Arranged marriage is what, when you don't have any right to say something, that whom you love, or what you prefer, what type of girl or what type of boy you like. It totally depends on what your parents deciding. It totally depends what what your parents are saying, you have to follow it. You have to you don't have any choices that what you prefer. This is just totally believe on like what your parents are deciding, you have to do it. It's just because in India, if you are doing arranged marriage, your family will support you all the time. They are with you, right? And if you are going for the love marriage, no will support you. In my college, I found a girl. I saw her first time, and I fall in love with her, and I decided that this is the girl whom I'm going to marry. So it takes me 6 months to convert her as a from friend to girlfriend. But after 6 months, we both start loving each others. But like she said, like, we don't make sure, like, don't fall in love with me like as like you want to get married, right? Because my parents are finding some boy for me, and maybe it happens like on the last moment I'm going to get married to other persons. So don't fall in love with me. But I decided, like, I want to get married to this girl only. Until last breath of my life, I'm going to love this girl. So I did. It takes like 5 years. She's on the day when I met I met with that girl. She's saying like, I'm going to get married, but it takes 5 years for his parents to find a boy, and finally they found a boy, and she went to see her, and she called me that I'm going to see that boy. So I said like, okay, you can go, but you know what you want to do now. For 5 years, I do lots of things for her, for to get her to make us a courage to go and talk to her parents. But she don't have any courage to go and get talk to her parents. Right now she is married, and she is happy. But like sometimes she called me and said like, oh, I'm not happy. I have everything in my life, about money, about family and everything, but I don't have the love which you have given me in 5 years. So this is what a love marriage, or you can say arranged marriage, difference between an arranged marriage and a loving person in love. According to me, love is unconditional, right? She told me on the first day, that on when we start meeting, when we start talking to each other, she told me on the first day that I'm not going to get married to you because my family is finding something. This is not a single story you're seeing in India. There are so many people fall in love with someone, and suddenly it happens that their families don't agree on it. There are some relations in India where you cannot think about, and you cannot say each and everything to your parents, right? So it totally depends on the families and how you treat your parents and how you treat your child. It's totally depend on them. My family is totally open, so I talk to them freely about each and everything in my life. But for her family, is to maybe some differences between the parents and their child. That's why she is afraid to talk to their parents. Maybe they beat them. They maybe they kill her. So that's why she didn't talk to her. And it happens in the families, in so many families in India. People love each other, but they don't have any courage to talk to their parents, and they got married to other persons, and they whole life they're thinking about like, why didn't we talk to my parents, why we got married to other persons. So it happens. Yeah, it's tough.
About India, what I'll change first is the education, which is we are lacking a lot in education. Because of if education enters in our village, the people understand where we are lacking, what we are not doing. Because of in India, the people doesn't understand that they are doing a lot wrong things. But if they get education, if they read newspapers, they can come aware. They can aware about that. And they can understand. So education is must there. The downline team was from nearby villages, nearby farmers where our community works. So I hired that boys, and they were just cleaner. But day by day we give him train to get good job. And now I have entire team is from ready from the villages only. We get ready here.
I would have to say that you kind of have to start with the basics, and so I would start with hunger. I mean, there's so many other things we could tackle, and when you look at these villages that we're helping in the Me to Eat program, the idea of building a sustainable, healthy food and water source as part of the process of becoming a sustainable village feels like that's probably the most basic priority for life. Virgin Atlantic was one of the real early UK companies to partner with Free the Children. So as an early sponsor, and we've been with them for 7 or 8 years now, and have raised, I think, collectively something like £1.2 million. We think it is a great model that Me to We has come up with. And it's not about just continuous giving to villages. It's about making them self-sustaining. The efforts in water and health and education and farming. We love the adopted villages. My first impression with Me to We was just the amazing enthusiasm of the people involved. I have rarely come across anybody more passionate about what they're doing than the Me to We team, and it is so contagious being around them.
I came to know about We Charity, and all of their efforts are really mesmerizing. I have again got another chance to get to know these people who are actually looking forward for some kind of help, especially for education for their children. They also want people like us to help them, support them in all their needs, because I have spoken to a few children who told me that they want to become, some of them wanted to become doctors, some of them wanted to become police officers and all, but then somewhere inside me I knew that something might pull them back. So you see, this is the thing that I really want to change and let them become what they want to. I think everyone should be treated equally, even if it doesn't matter what their caste is, doesn't matter what kind of job they do. They should not be judged and treated as well according to the kind of work they do. They should be treated as human beings.
In our organization, everybody is equal. In this company, I love the work culture. They'll support you each and every time in any part of your life. So I love it. I love my organization.
Here the people who are coming to India, they are coming to do something for India, something for us. The youth and the teams who are all are doing a great job for India.
And the way that it empowers and energizes young people to know that they can make a difference. And other charities, which are just about collecting money for good causes, are great. But to collect money for good causes and empower a generation at the same time, unique. This is why we love them. More than anything else, the power of a person, an individual, to do good, to make a difference, to have an impact on the world. And I love that about Me to We, and I love that about the scholarship trips. I think it's very easy to get into the day-to-day living, even as a 16-year-old. At that point, it's, it's school, it might be sports, or whatever might even be a job, whatever the things that you're doing, and get very, as adults do, mired in the today, and not ask yourself the big questions of what could I do to actually make an impact on somebody else. The people of those villages are so genuine, real, appreciative, and warm that despite the challenging circumstances that they find themselves in, it's a pretty amazing place to be. I think the actual feeling of accomplishment, of going someplace, working hard as part of a team, getting something done that matters, is, I think, a really positive thing for the kids on the trip. And I was very struck by how that made them feel, and how, I think, positive the energy among that group was, not just because they were visiting a bunch of kids and having a great time with them, but because actually it's a really good experience to do hard work as part of a team and accomplish something that matters.
The change.